Well, guys, yesterday somebody hit my truck, and thankfully it wasn't my new one, but it was my 2012 F-150, and I'm going to show you the damage and everything that happened and tell you the story behind the wreck here. So let's go back here and I'll show you the damage. As you can see, that tail light's pretty mangled up, and the bumper here. And before I get too deep into this, let me tell you how this occurred. I wasn't even home. My vehicle was parked out front of my house, parked very legally, and it was a neighbor that actually hit it. I don't know all my neighbors very well. I do know a person that's next door to me very well, good dude and his family, but I kind of keep to myself, and like I wave to people, and they know me by seeing me around, but I don't go knocking on people's doors and and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know all my neighbors really well, but she says she was driving down the road, didn't see my truck there, and hit it. Now, I had taken my new Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road Edition to work. I'm getting ready to do a video on that soon. I just wanted to drive it for a while before I reviewed it for you guys. And this was out in front of my house on the street because the Toyota fits in the driveway, and I had to clear out my driveway of this to get the Toyota out. So this would be parked in front of my house. There's no sidewalks in front of my house. Keep that as a reminder. It goes to the edge of lawn, then the street, and I'm going to tell you why. So a mutual neighbor, the guy next door to me that she knows and I know, she went to him and told him what happened. He contacted me and sent me a picture of what happened. And the damage, it goes from here, it goes all the way to here. It's scratched and scraped there, all the way up, like I said, to here. That's gouged into the body panel right here. That's gouged into the panel. She had a Dodge Caravan, and what it did to that was it broke the tie rod and did significant damage to where she can't even drive the vehicle. This was fine to drive. So here's what happened. I like to try to remember what I say about de-escalation. First thing I thought of was when I was told this was hit, was I said, oh my goodness. And then the next thing was when I was told what happened over the phone through text messages, I said, my first thought was, well, I'm glad no one's hurt, And we're going to talk more about de-escalation. You need to have that as a principle everywhere. I don't just need de-escalation at work. I need de-escalation everywhere in my life, right? In order for it to be real and be true. So, as much as I hate that this got hit, the woman's fully covered. In fact, she's through the same insurance company that I am. And it's going pretty easy. The ball's already rolling and everything. But when I went to these people's house to knock on the door to get some info, they're older, and the man is much older than her. He's like in his 80s, and she's probably like 65. And I'm talking with her outside, and then the older guy comes down, and he's in a horrible mood. I mean, he's almost yelling at this lady for what happened. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm thinking, I'm the one that should be mad here. It was my vehicle sitting where it's allowed to be parked that got hit, and I'm not mad. I'm being as friendly as if I'm coming here just to say hi and meet you, greet her, just to come here and hang out. That's how friendly I was being. And she got a $190 ticket for this, and he was just mad. And I said, look, sir, like I said, remember de-escalation? His whole body language, everything about him was mad. And it was mainly to deal with the situation and the lady and frustration, okay? So you got to understand how to deal and handle people when they get in these types of moods and things. So what I said to the guy was, look, now I live right close to a park. A lot of people come down my street. And I said, first of all, here's the thing. First of all, she is not hurt. She's fine. I said, and second of all, thank goodness it wasn't people walking down to cut through and go to the park that's nearby me, where they do all day long when it's warm out. And then he kind of changed his tone. He was like, oh yeah, I said, this could be so much worse than a $190 ticket. There could be somebody laying in a hospital. A lot of people walk with strollers, dogs down this road all the time. And, you know, I would rather it be my truck than a dog, a person, or a kid. Or I should say that in the other order. A kid, a person, or a dog is what I would rather have it be my truck than that. So he started to change his tune. I was trying to get him just to be, you know, why should he take something out on her? You know, it's an accident, and you know, things happen. So I don't know how I'd have felt if it was my new Tacoma, though. I can't tell you what I would have thought then. But there it is. You know, it didn't do too much, but yeah, that van is not moving that they have, that Dodge Caravan. Pretty nice one too, but busted the tie rod out and everything on it. So that's it, guys. That's how my truck got wrecked while sitting parked at my house when I wasn't even around. Second thing, or third thing I'm thankful for is that I was not out and about in this and something happened. There you go, guys. That is my F-150 wreck. If you guys want updated after the insurance and everything, I'll let you guys know what's going to happen there. All right, talk to you soon. DOF, and I'm out.